What I worked on last December. I'm mostly a designer. It's my training, my background, but I got into augmented reality. First time I saw the GE whole thing, I wanted to know, how do I do that? And so I got into learning the Flash AR toolkit, and what I ended up creating in December was a kind of a working mock-up of a system that would ideally create 3D greeting cards that you could try and print out, like sign, fill out address, whatever, fold up, send to a friend, and they could get it, go to the URL on the card, open it up, and then see a 3D object that you selected on that card with a message on the card that plays off that 3D object. And I ran into a whole bunch of development challenges when I started doing this, because I didn't realize how difficult it was. But I wanted to show you, before I went into the keynote, I made just what the app is right now, and this is the concept. And briefly, you go from the internet, finding the card, making it, printing it, basically choosing it, and then sending it, and then to someone else who ends up seeing the 3D.
Are you live right now?
Yeah. So these are like cards, and there's really only one that works. But I didn't bring the card to actually show the 3D aspects. I figured people had mostly seen that before. But it's a snowflake that's on the card, and then you enter this stuff, and then it's printed on the card when you hit Save PDF. And then you preview it. You can get this whole thing with the allow. You actually see the 3D model on the card. And then you could, you could just, in theory, pick another one. But I realized there was a lot of problems with this, the whole concept of an app. Like, why is it tied to the computer when so many of the real AR apps that are going to change the way we do things on mobile? And that was kind of a limitation of the FLAR toolkit. It's just kind of how it works. But the FLAR toolkit was really important because it got so many people interested in AR. And the whole printing thing is kind of a mess, because who's going to print anything anymore? And this is a real barrier, because if you're sent this and you don't know who's sending it to you or what it's really going to do, you're kind of hesitant to say allow, because you don't know where that data is going. So I feel like those are some real problems with AR, like as it stands as far as a desktop, just scratching the surface. But I feel like the biggest thing that I took away from it was that if the technology can develop to an extent that people can go into it without technological background, without programming background, and create something that they think is interesting enough to share with their friends, there's just a huge opportunity for AR being social. Because not only are there opportunities in the technology for it to help connect people, but the fact that you can create something and send it to somebody that you know builds a level of trust. But I started thinking about how far Photoshop had come from origins in 1991 to the present day, and in between it's basically built everything on the web. And the video is the same sort of thing. After Effects comes out in 1993, and then it wasn't until 2005 that YouTube revolutionized video online. So I feel like shifting is part of this process that naturally occurs when the technology to create things emerges. And so there's really a lot of evidence, I think, that AR is following similar lag, because AR was originally developed in 1992, but there's this huge lag until 1999 when the AR toolkit was developed, and that toolkit was eventually created into the FLAR toolkit and ported in 2009. So it was basically 10 years this technology sat on the shelf where it was out there, but no one knew what to do with it. And it wasn't until it hit Flash that people just saw it and realized the potential in it. And so I feel like these apps are very social, Layer with 2Me and Yelp, but the people's ability to interact with it is limited to adding text. I feel like what got me into it was the potential of just creating something three-dimensional, something visual, something, some sort of an art, some sort of a film that you could create, own, and share. And none of them really have that potential yet. And this is a quote I found that kind of speaks to my whole kind of thought process, is that even though people that are developers are extremely creative, when you widen the spectrum and allow storytellers and people who like media and art and design, everything else to interact with technology, everything's going to be different. And this software currently is a desktop application that allows people to create AR without this is amazing. So I think that there's a lot out there that once you have a kind of a step approach where you've got those kind of things out there for professionals, and you got things that are out there for, maybe it's a Facebook app plugin or something, something where make it easy for people to create it and share it in the same process.
I'm a little confused. How does the person see the 3D object on the card?
They need a webcam, so I've got one built in. So they hold it up above the webcam, hit allow, and it just appears in front of the card. Yeah.
What's the next step for 3D cards? What do you think do next?
Well, I would really like to add that functionality that allow people to create their own card. But barring that, I think adding card designs is probably something I could do that's technically feasible for me. But if I could find people that were interested in it enough to spend some time on it, it would be very cool to see it move further.
What was your source of 3D models?
I use just the warehouse. So I ran into huge problems with encoding them because they would come down into like a 3D SketchUp model, and I had to convert that into a model that the FLAR toolkit could understand. So that would be another part of the project, would be just creating a repository of models that were okay to use and in the right format.
What was that one app? It was it looked like a speech bubble and palm tree. I knew Layar, I know Yelp. What's that one on the left?
McQuilkin is
What?
McQuilkin is what they call it.
Wikitude?
As in wiki.
Yeah. I don't know that one.
They allow people to make their own AR tags, which is really interesting. I think it's basically what I'm interested in doing, but on a bigger scale. If people can add things like this is my favorite restaurant, or try out the clams, or whatever, or
Yeah.
restaurants or
Gotcha.
locations.